As promised, here's a newbie slash beginner's guide to escape from Tarkov. We're gonna go all over the place with this video. It's gonna be mostly basics for you guys that have no clue about this game. So if you already know about Tarkov, this is not the video for you. This is more like for the main audience of my channel that do probably most likely not know anything about this game. I'm gonna explain it top to bottom, like real quick, go through the pointers of what you'll need to know, and this way you can determine whether this is a game for you to play or not. So just off of that, this is Escape from Tarkov. So number one question is, what is EFT? And second of all, is EFT worth getting? I say absolutely yes, but let's dig into it and talk about the actual game. Escape from Tarkov is an online, hardcore, realistic type shooter game with a survival aspect to it. Now, the survival aspect is really important because there's so much to it. Let's just click on our character here. We have a ton of different gear we can equip, rigs, armor, backpacks, and then over here we have our stash. Whatever is in this stash is safe. Think of it kind of World of Warcraft, you have your bank. Think of it as RuneScape, you have your bank. Think of it, whatever the heck, whatever is in here is safe and you will never ever lose it. You can either A, sell it, B, trade it, C, stick it up your bum and go into a raid with it. But this here is your personal stash. What else do we have that's outside the game? We have the hideout. The hideout is something that you'll learn to progress through, which was currently bugged there for a second. Your own little personal space that can be upgraded as you advance through the game. Now ours here is fully upgraded except for the Christmas tree here, but that's all right. We don't care about that. So why is this place important to us? Well, first of all, in the end, you'll get something kind of like this with a Bitcoin farm that'll farm you money as you just simply sit and, I don't know, play with your Christmas balls that you got in a raid. There's a ton of different features in here, and this is a big part of the game, and it's something newly-ish released that they're continuing to develop on. So while you also have in-game where you go shoot people, outside the game you have both your hideout here where you have a lot of stuff to do. You can craft items. There's a lot. It's like a mini game within a game. On your character, you can sit and play Tetris like that. Wonderful, amazing, stack your monies. We're kind of broke right now, but that's all right. But before we go on to the character, let's go ahead and say we want to play Escape from Tarkov. There's something called a scav. It says right here, begin raid as a scav, a local bandit with a random set of gear. Tarkov is your home, you make the rules. So whereas the PMC is your main character, and X, whether it's USEC or Bear Operator, do everything necessary to escape from Tarkov alive. So what's the difference here? This is your character, the one we just looked at in your stash, where this guy is just a random guy. We'll try to load in on a random map here. And whatever this character here has on him, if you make it out of the raid, you get it all. If you die, don't worry about it. It was free anyway. I believe the default cooldown is around 15 minutes, and then it'll decrease when you advance in your hideout. So as you see here, we just got onto our scav. We have that AK we just saw, the armor, we have a pair of glasses, and some headphones. Now, and we have a vest with some max in it. First thing you always want to do is check your fire mode. Press B to make sure you're on full auto. Always the first thing you got to do as a scav. Even as a player, it's a good thing to test. Now, what's unique about scavs? Let's see if this guy's friendly. What's unique about scavs is there can also be other player scavs, such as this guy. But the scavs will not shoot you when you're playing as a player scav. They will only start to blast you if you start to blast them. Or let's say if I killed this guy, which I'm not going to do right now, because we're going to look for this remaining player or a couple of players that are hanging around on this map here. So we can take them down. And we can get a little bit of grease. And we know there's a guy over here now. We heard a door. Might be down below. Could have just been the scavs messing with it. You see, we almost got that guy. But that is scav. Look at that guy. He was pimped out of his pajamas. He had a lot of stuff on him, but that's the whole idea behind the scav. If we aimed a little bit better there, we would have taken all of his gear home. So why is it good to have a scav? Right there. Right there. You can get free gear. Easy. Now, I do have my hideout upgraded, so mine is like a 13-minute cooldown. And then next time we go in as a scav, we'll start with this shotgun, this vest, and this beautiful hat. So that's kind of a free way to get gear as you learn the game. Now there's a lot to the game itself, but that right there is really, really good. Selecting what map you want to play. As a new player, it can seem very overwhelming right now because there's not really a whole set of newbie-friendly guides in the game. So that's why we're making this video. First of all, there's some maps that are not available. This is the screen you get to after you select your character and press next. Now, town, lighthouse, terminal, suburbs, streets of Tarkov all coming later. Interchange, customs, woods, factory reserve, and shoreline, and the lab are the ones that you can play currently in the beta. Remember, this game is still in beta, but they are flying out patches left and right. So, anyways, these are the maps. You can see here that there's a 9 to 14 player count on interchange. Custom, we have a 6 to 12. Factory, being the smallest map, only has a player count of 4 to 6. Now, when you see this, this means there's going to be 4 to 6 other PMCs in the raid. These are the PMCs. That's where you're playing at. Player scavs, that's a whole different story. They can come in later, so don't count those into the 4 to 6 when you've killed or seen 6 players die. No. Well, it would be 5 because you're going to survive, right? Now, people often ask, what map should I start on? In my opinion, I feel like Customs is a very good starter map. It has a little bit of everything to it. So if you're just getting started, I think, personally, Customs is a good starting point. But you can circle through them. And when you start to get good on one map, let's say you start with Customs, go ahead and take your scav and slap him into Factory or Woods, Reserve, Interchange, and learn the map here. The very unique thing here is that the lab is a very, very geared place where raiders will come in. Raiders is a kind of buffed scav that will come in with really good gear and take your head off. This here, you need a key card to get into. Don't worry about this for now if you're a new player. You'll understand later as you progress through the game. Alright, so you've selected what map you want to play. Next up, let's talk quests. Quests are something that makes this game really, really fun to grind and an easy way to learn it. If we go ahead and click into trading and we select any of these, I believe Prepper has a quest at the beginning. Go into task and you should see some quests here that you could accept. Now these are quests, you can see I've done them all except for one that you will progress with through the game. These are very, very, very good to learn the game. It's kind of a learn by doing. So you complete these quests and you'll learn something on the way. It shows you a lot of loot spots. It teaches you a lot about gun customization. There is a lot to it. So I really do suggest that you keep up with these quests and learn the game this way. So you're ready to play. But what's this container you have down here? You have, by default, a little safe box. Depending on the version of the game you have either a 2x2, 3x3, or something like that. Now, as you complete the all of the quests in the game, except for this kill killer 100 times, you end up getting this bad boy. Now, this one is the ultimate safe container, which means that anything inside this that I have with me will never, ever go lost. So if I die and I put anything in the raid in this, I will get it with me out of the lobby. Now, what are these things I'm sitting here circling around? These are things you'd probably want one of these with you in the raid. Starting with the wallet, this thing can only carry money. But if you find money in raid, then you save spots by putting your money into the wallet, obviously. Wallet kind of but it's cheap. It's doable. The dog tags can carry all the dog tags that you get from killing players. These can sell for a lot of money. If you have some extra spare change, you can use this. The documents folder can carry keys, maps, money. Also a very good purchase. It's not too expensive, around 300,000 at the moment. Also a good one. Key tool, obviously, is going to carry keys. This is a one-slot item, which is really awesome because it takes up no space. And last but not least, the ultimate one is the small SIG case, which can carry just a lot. So this is the ultimate safe container, extra space. Like this can carry my key cards, keys, dog tags, monies, a little bit of special items, coins, bitcoins. This is the one, but this is the really expensive one. So very light game, but very good. Now about this stash, we're not completely done because you can either let's say I bought all these to show you guys about it. Now I kind of want to just get rid of them again. So we can either go in, sell it to a vendor, say, hey, can you take this wallet here? Get 8,000 for it. Now these are a little bit more pricey. We say this is 230,000 and the other one was 500,000 or something. Then we go in, build a buy item, and we have an entire auction house here we can post on. We could get 200,000 for it for the vendor price. In here, you can see they sell for 439,000. So if we go, we press add offer, then we find our doc text case, and then we add it here and say we just want to undercut this guy. So we type in whatever is right below him, just like that. And you'll see we'll press this little refresh button here, and our offer will be up here in a minute. That means our offer will now be the lowest and will most likely be purchased, and we'll make a lot more money by selling it on the flea market. So let's try again. The same thing with the key tool. Right click. We want to filter by item. We want to see if there's any on there. There's quite a bit. So we'll say, hey, we'll just do the same thing again. Find our key tool and undercut this guy. This is especially important with really expensive items, as you'll save a lot of money compared to just vendoring everything you find. There we go. This guy undercut a lot, but I'm sure mine will sell too eventually. So this is the flea market. This here is going to be your friend to figuring out what to buy, cheap to buy, whatever you need. Let's say you have a website open that says these are the type of bullets that you want to use. Let's say that the bullets were these M56A1s, even though it's most likely not. We can go in on the flea market. Instead of you having to go through the vendors if you don't know which one sells it, search for the item here in the flea market and it'll pop up. Let's say that we wanted to buy a headset, a tactical sport headset. Search for it. It'll pop up here, most likely cheaper than the vendor price anyway. You see here 31,000, and all the way down here should be a Rackman somewhere with here 36,000. So let's say 29,000, 30,000. We just saved 6K by doing the flea market, and now we have a headset. Which brings us to the next point. What the heck is a headset? This will help you tremendously in games. It'll increase the volume of footsteps and nearby sounds that are otherwise super quiet. These are a must for a solo player, in my opinion. It's really good to hear people. So always just go in when you get the game or play for the first couple of times, try with a headset, and then try without a headset. You will never ever want to go back to a helmet that you cannot wear a headset with, in my opinion. But we have more items. We have armor. We want to have armor on so we don't take as many hits. We want a helmet. Well, we'll go into trading since we don't have a helmet, and we'll find a helmet real quick. Bam. There's a cry helmet here. We'll say, hey, that's pretty neat. I'll take that. And then this helmet you can equip some more things with. But what did I just do? How did I know that those two connected? Well, what you can do if you don't know if something works together is right-click this helmet, press a linked search instead of filter by item. Filter by item will go into the flea market and filter only by this headset. This way, you can find the cheapest option as this. But watch out for the HP. You want one that's 40 out of 40 and not a damaged piece of crap. But if we use the linked search, we'll see out here gear components. That means we can plop some ears on them. We can have a face shield on them. And we'll say, hey, we want that, but we do not want one that's damaged again. So we'll take this one from Peacekeeper here. Say we'll buy that. And then these chops look like they protect a lot more than the ears. So we'll take a pair of those, which we already bought. And always be sure that you get something that's protected. And then we can drag them on here. Turn it on, visor down. Slam dunk, can't use that headset with it. I'll have to get a contact here. Bam. And just like that. Now we have armor and a headset. So we're missing a backpack and a rig. We can say, hey, I got a bunch of crappy backpacks here. Well, they're not crappy. They're decent. So we have a backpack on. Now we can store items here. You'll find backpacks on the go. Most of the times the scav will come with a little crappy backpack or something too. And then a tactical rig. We can go in and say, what's that? Tactical rigs. Search here. This is the very new one, a very, very big one. I'll just buy that for just informational purposes. And on this, we can carry a lot of stuff too. But what's the difference between a rig and a backpack? Well, the thing is, we have this beautiful gun somewhere that I don't remember where I put. My inventory is kind of empty right now. Right here. Our spanking M4. We need some mags for this gun too. Say that we have these mags here. If I have a mag in here, there's no bullets in them. But if I wanted to reload this with this mag, I can't. If it's in the backpack, it's all the way packed away. You have to have it in your tactical rig. Now I can reload, swap the mags, and get this one in there instead of this mag here. So always stuff that you want to use. Same goes for a grenade. It's either got to be in your vest or in your pockets. But what if you have a flashbang here and a nade here? It will always prioritize the pockets over the nade. So that means if it's like that, the flashbang will go first. If it's like this, the nade will go first. So be careful about that. Have an eye open. So if you do want your best nades here, always have them in the front 2 pocket slots and done deal. And let's say you have this and you want to decide, well, you can keep on these items too. Let's say you want normal nade, you want that on a 5, you press 5. And a flashbang grenade here, press that on a 6, you'll have that hotkey as number 6. And furthermore, we can say, hey, we need some healing too. So we'll take some healing with us here. We'll hotkey that to maybe 4. And maybe we need some painkillers in case we break a leg or something, just so we can walk a little bit. And we'll keep on that to 5, because this will be our grenade bind anyway, so we don't need a bind for that. So now we have kind of a little bit of gear we can go into with. We need a little bit of ammo too. Bam. Bam. Just use that ammo for educational purposes again. Then we can place the rest of our ammo down in our safe container in case we die off early. And then on top of that, we can place multiple other healing items. There's a lot of healing items to this game, and that'll be a separate video because there's a lot more to the healing than just that. We're going to try to keep this as a kind of a newbie player guide. But now we have gear. Our character is ready to roll. He can carry 2 weapons and a pistol. We can have some eyewear, a mask, or an armband on too. These are pure cosmetic items at the moment. They might have features later on, such as glasses maybe will help with flashbangs or whatever. Who knows? But for now, our character is looking pretty good to go fight people. I believe at this point, you kind of have a groove for the whole stash thing about customizing your character. At least you get the basics of it. So over here is all your safe stuff. Over here to the left is all that you're taking in the raid. And whatever is in this box can never be lost. So that means you find valuable, you place it in this little puppy down here. But we're ready to play now. We want to play Escape from Tarkov. We play Tetris now. This is our character that we can go in with. This is the scav. Again, the scavs is your friend as a new player, completely risk-free. You get everything if you get out, and you get nothing if you don't, but you didn't put any money on the line, so don't worry about it. But how do you get out of maps? Let's say that we go onto this factory map again. How do we extract, as we so talked about? You need to learn the extraction points. Now, the best way to do this is hit up the Wikipedia, search for example. We're playing factory now. Go ahead and just type in Google factory exits map. This will bring up a map. Have this map on a separate monitor that you can keep looking at, or just in general have a map over whatever map you're on. So that way you can see and kind of learn as you play the map. You can say, oh wait, this is a water tower here. This might connect with this water tower here on this map. It's a very, very, very good idea and crucial to learning the maps to have this map overview open, because there's no like easy map to navigate with in game. Walking around looting in game, there's so many different things that can be looted. Jackets, safes, file cabinets, dead bodies you kill. Loot away. Loot and scoot, you'll learn prizes as you go along. Just keep on looting stuff. And then shooting people and take whatever they loot. But in the game, what you want to do is find loot. Just like we're doing right now. We've killed a couple of guys. Or one guy or something. Now we're just filling up our pockets, and then we'll get ready to leave the area after that. So this is the survival game aspect where you want to go in and you want to grind, you want to find money. I can see that someone's already been in these. What we're going to do instead is we're going to just gamble. I mean, now you could say would be not a bad time to just extract. I don't know if I'm unfriended with scavs. I am now. So you see here it has a question mark because we've already used this mag a little bit. What we can do then is press Alt plus T, and it'll tell us this magazine has a less than half. And we'll say, hey, we'll check the other one real quick. And this mag carries about half. So we'll use this mag a little bit longer. Take this guy out. Oh, was that a player? Tried to be fancy there for a second. Now, you can see this is a scav player, and there's a way to tell that if they have a pouch. This is the safety container we talked about. This is a player scav. Whereas this over here is just a regular scav. Oh, that's a player scav too. That was close. I'm gonna run out of ammo here. Now, as I was saying, regular scavs such as this do not have a safety pouch. So that's the way you can tell that it's a player scav. Also, another point of when looting scavs, their vest usually only has magazines in them. So if you got to do some quick looting, skip this for now. Check the pockets, the backpack, and then take it from there. We'll stack the backpacks here and say, hey, we've gotten decent loot. Maybe it's time for us to get the heck out of here. Then we'll check the extracts by pressing O or double tapping for default bind. We have either gate 3 or camera bunker door. Now these extracts are again things that you'll learn as you play and have the map open. That is the #1 tip that I can give you guys. Now when we find this extraction point, which is right here in our case because we have the camera bunker door right then and there. Now see extraction in, and as soon as this completed, we're out with everything that we have just farmed. You can see even as a scav we got some player XP. We killed some scabbies here. Some of them were player scavs. And in here, all this loot we can now put into our inventory and say this is ours. We made this fair and square. A quick way to do this is left control, and then left click to get it all out, just like this. Then you can sort it later if you want, or you can sort it while you're doing it. And you see we kind of stack quite a couple of backpacks here. We're just going to place those there. Bam, bam, bam. A nice little run to get some gear. This is why scav runs are your friends, because they're essentially just free money, and it's a very, very, very good way of learning how to play the game. So I do suggest go ahead and do your scav runs. Now going into character, what do we do with all this stuff now? We just got it. What I suggest you do is the stuff that you don't want, sell, obviously. But let's say you want to keep this vest. I mean, you don't have a lot of gear yet if you're a new player, so we'll drag that down. Maybe you want to keep this armor too. This Mosin looks pretty cool. We'll keep that too. But what about the rest? We just want to get rid of the rest now. I have a suggestion. And this is, some people will say, oh, it's a waste of time. But I'd say you make a lot more money by doing it. Go ahead, right click, disassemble every gun that you got that you don't want to keep. You have all the attachments split up. Why are we doing this? We go into trading. There is 3 vendors, in my opinion, that you should worry about. Therapist, skier, and mechanic. Therapist, sell anything you can to her. She likes keys, stuff like that. We'll save this drink for later. But the rest of it, we're just going to get rid of. Say heck it, the cat, it's not really worth a lot. But that's 70k here we got from that raid. Then we go to skier. We just go left from right. I said therapist, skier, and mechanic. Skier, he likes attachments and stuff, and a little bit of clothing. So we go ahead, hold left control again. Spam all these things that we just want to get rid of here. Just like that. And in my case, I'm not going to be using those. We'll just get rid of those. Bam. We got a little bit more money. I did miss a grip, but that's okay. And then mechanic, last of all, we'll take our sorry leftovers. Just like that. Doesn't take that much extra time. The smoke grenades, in this case, very rare that we get these. We can sell them to a prepper if we want. And this knife that we have left over for a scav, you can save 8 of these and it'll trade to an MP5 off of Peacekeeper here. I'll just show you guys if I can find it right here. See, we have 1. So if you save up 8, you can get a free MP5 if you so wish. So that is essentially how you play Escape from Tarkov. So quick pointers here. If you really want to learn this game quick, have a map open when you play a map. Learn where the spots are, what they're called, where you find what loot. Because you can see right here on these maps that are popping up on your screen, it tells you where loot is at, where extracts are at, what keys you can use for this map, and everything that you need to know. That way you can see we have this awesome container here, the small sick container. If I'm not going customs, I was just being lazy having my keys in there because I don't need that much room. But let's say these are my custom keys, the one that I prefer bringing with me. Then I don't need them in my safe container. But if I'm going labs, I want my key cards and these with me because all these are for the labs place. So look at keys, figure out what goes where, and even check on the Wikipedia, see what, if I buy this key that's like 600k, what can I get inside of it? Is it really worth it for me to keep versus just getting rid of it? So that wraps it up. One last pointer is always check the flea market first before you vendor it. Let's see this Mosin here. If we just wanted to sell it without stripping it, that's 13k. But there's quests for Mosins. So we'll go ahead and we'll fill the buy item. We'll see, hey, it sells for like 24k on the market. So I wanted to cut that, get rid of it, make some extra. So point is, in the end, for very new players, follow up on the quests, have a map open as you progress, play a lot of scav runs, and then fiddle with the keybinds if you want to change something as you learn the game. Don't rush it. Enjoy the journey. It's a fun, long journey, and like I'm not even halfway anywhere near perfection. We're getting there. We're learning. Hope you guys learned something from this video. I appreciate you guys watching. If you do have any questions whatsoever, if you feel like I skipped out a little bit on some areas, ask me in the comment section and I will answer every question that is going to be asked me. Feel free or stop by the Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Fuglip, where we play a lot of EFT. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one, alright? Peace out. Good night.